Hello everybody, this is Pete from PA Labs, and I've got some really exciting stuff to show you today. I had a wonderful day coding yesterday, got an awful lot done. By and large, this looks pretty much the same. Let's start over here. Before I jump straight into that, I want to point out that ListIcon Helper now supports Linux. And it might, stress might because I have no way to test, might support Mac OS. So, when we install this tool and you're given the code that comes with this tool in order to make it work, because since I use ListIcon Helper and the code that this generates, we use the ListIcon Helper. We have several pieces of code. The biggies are ListIcon Helper. Static is a collection of functions that my code uses to help shorten repeated blocks of code. And you also have DB. DB is probably one of the slickest pieces. It is the database layer that actually opens and closes databases, it writes to databases, it queries, it updates, it gets the ID. He's the guy that sits underneath all of these database classes. So when you're looking here, if you go scrolling through code, let's go to one that actually is going to do something, you'll see that we call DB. Okay, DB open, we're calling a function to open. We're not actually doing the open in code over and over and over and over and over. We're just calling a function that does it for us. If DB query, so he's running the query. So at the top of all database layers or database code sheets, you'll have a include DB PBI, and that needs to be in whatever folder that you want to put your DB classes. It doesn't matter if all of this is in the same one project folder and it's just all lumped in there together, if that's how you want to do it. I would stress that you probably want to break up your code a bit into folders to make it easier and more manageable, but everybody's got their own methodology. So back to this. Let's see. I have working now the ability to create database classes. I don't have the child collections working yet, but we can come out and modify and add fields. I have all of the data types are coded. I've tested primary key and foreign key. For those who have ever used Class Builder, you can no longer select integer and then choose it to be a primary key. I have modified primary key to say if you haven't put a name in the name field and you haven't put a comment on this, then it'll automatically fill those two in for you, in addition to bringing up the key and auto increment. So if that was done by accident, you'll want to delete those before you change to go back to string. Otherwise those two will be left in there. So the screen reconfigures itself for each and every data type. Not all string validations apply to all the data types, and not all gadget creations apply to all data types. For example, strings have mixed case. If I went to double, well, I don't have mixed case anymore, I have decimals. So we can put in up to 15 or so decimal places. Same with float, and same with what's the other one? Decimal. Yeah. So these are you can see how the screen just rebuilds itself. If you're wanting to link the form reference in, you'll be able to come in and based on the form that you selected here, you'll be able to come in and select the field that is on that form for that field, and it'll come up in the data. So that's working. I also am proud to say I have the Enum List data working, so you can create Enum lists. But it doesn't stop there. If you got Enum lists, you can now generate the Enum List code. Okay, now the Enum List code comes with a couple procedures that helps you out. It loads a combo box, and it has a procedure to get whatever the data type is, or whatever the Enum list name is, get Enum list. You can pass it in one of the enumerators, and it'll kick back the name for you. So that's working. Over here in the database classes, we can now generate the SQL code to go create the table. Just copy and paste that into your favorite SQLite editor or manager, and presto, it'll create the table for you. We also have the database class generation in. And though this is not heavily tested as of yet, I've given it a pretty decent look over, and it seems to look pretty good. So, I mean, even at the finds, it builds this SQL, that's right. We come down here and we attach the values to the IDs. That all looks pretty good. Inserts are looking good. It looks good. I haven't tested it other than to say I've looked at it and said, boy, it looks pretty darn good. Not working is the window code, the code that loads and saves the data from the windows. So that is all working now in the application. So today's focus is going to be getting child collections operational, if I can get to that today. But the main focus is going to be on projects. I want the projects and the forms, the process, the form, and build the control loop to be fully functional by the end of the day. This will include these guys actually generating the data into the database for this development desktop. There's a lot of work that's got to happen there. One of the things I ran into the problem of is in the window generation code. At this point, I'm not capturing the gadget name. I mean, I have his name, I just don't have text gadget or ListIcon Gadget. I don't have those field names, and I'm gonna need those. So I have to modify this forms process. So when you process your forms, that's pulled out and saved into the database before I can actually get to finishing the work on the window, the code behind the window. So based on the gadget it generates different code for how to read and write to the gadget. So that's the biggie. That's the real focus of today, would be to build projects properly, to do the validation of the project folder structure, to make sure that those 3 files that you've got to have get put into the right places automatically. Make sure they're there. If they're not there, if you've gone in and changed the folder structure, when you process the next time, he's going to verify the folder structure and put them where they need to be so the code works, and that sort of thing. So that's today's focus, and that's going to be a jam-packed full day. But yesterday was pretty exciting stuff for me to actually get to where I can generate code again in Linux. One of the other things I want to point out, if you look down here at the database grid, the field grid, you can see that the row numbers are right justified, the names are left justified, the data types are left justified. That's kind of interesting that the field name doesn't match this. That's very bizarre. That's not something that's something that's, I'll have to look at that code and see if there's something squirrely. Not null is center, size is center. The default value will actually end up being left justified. So you can see that the functions of the list view helper, ListIcon helper, are working just as they're supposed to work, with the exception of this guy here for some reason. I'll go look at it and see if there's something I can tweak on it to make that work right. I've been out on the forum page last night to try to get that thing operational, and just now, of course, it's the rule of demos. You see, whenever you demo something software-wise, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So, hey, it's the rules. So anyhow, my focus today is all on projects, and if I can get to it, the child classes. But things are looking pretty awesome at this point. I'm kind of on a trajectory date of maybe early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, putting this source out there and the code out there for those of you who want to start using this tool and generating your own database code for free. So anyhow, as always, I want to thank you very much for watching.